everybody. AM Path Chat covering metals futures, commodity path chat with Bob Iacchino and Mike Arnold from Path Trading Partners. Before I give it over to Mike, a couple of quick things in terms of copper. There is no, by the way, for any of you that call it Dr. Copper, please stop. That's just like a kitschy thing that says that it's called Dr. Copper because people in the markets have said for years that copper has a PhD in economics, because if copper's rising, the economy is getting better industrial wise, and if copper's falling, the economy is getting worse from an industrial basis. But when I hear people call it Dr. Copper, it just sounds like somebody trying to be a fake trader. So stop calling it Dr. Copper. Anyway, quickly, copper has been falling obviously dramatically yesterday. Couple of things going on with that. There's reports out of decreased demand, and on the supply side, BHP Billiton, which is the miner that owns the Escondida copper mine in Chile, which is the one that's on strike. Chile is the largest copper producing country, and the Escondida mine is the largest mine in Chile. It is not necessarily the largest copper mine, but it is the largest copper mine in the largest copper producing country. Supply has been affected to the tune of 8% of supply, but copper is falling off of, again, stories of reduced demand. We're also seeking clarity on infrastructure plans from the White House. We haven't gotten that yet. But also, BHP Billiton decided to give up its legal right to replace its striking workers. So this is important because now they're going to wait at least 30 days to replace those workers, and they have the right to do that. This puts the ball in the union's court, and there's talk that the union will actually get on trying to get a deal done because it feels like BHP Billiton is trying to acquire and secure the exact amount of workers to essentially fire the striking workers and move on with production. You combine that with the rumors of demand falling off and no clarity from the White House, and you get a sell-off in copper. Also in gold, if you want to go to futuresnewstoday.com, you can see my commentary on gold. It's a CME Group website. The CME Group owns that website. And I talked at length about gold there if you want to hear our fundamental opinion on gold. Anyway, let me give it over to Mike to give you the price action, which is all we trade anyway.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bob. See with the copper chart, Dr. Copper. Going to have me a Dr. Pepper while I look at Dr. Copper. Going to hear about that from Bob later. So we broke above this.
Stop calling it that.
We broke above this very shallow trend line, and then we reached up and failed. This is no longer relevant. We've fallen below the upward sloping trend line. I'm going to redraw this now as a resistance downward sloping trend line. I also have my GAN levels on here. What I'm really watching for, we've already come up and tested the first potential cross, the rotation zone, and we've, again, this is a concept we use, kiss this trend line goodbye. There is no trade here. We're into a fair amount of back into consolidation. Really, what I'm going to be watching for is if we can get a sustained close below the 261 level, which then I'd be looking for price lower trading. So we'll update that as it could be happening. If we stay in this range, really between the about 275 level and the 261 level, there's nothing for me to do right now. You can see some levels on here, which could be support or resistance levels. Let me switch to gold. All right, we got to close above this trend line yesterday, which we've talked about before. We're going into a clear path move. The next potential target was 1257.70, which we've passed today. Next target's higher. We have a flat 200, and we have a significant level right around the 1265. So watch for the next rally point to be to 1265, and if we see that, we have a full ABC pattern or a measured move pattern, which would take it to 1278.40. Those are your key levels. If we do pull back, watch for a retest of the 1242 level and this 1246 area, which is the static rotation zone and a significant level, and you have the rising dynamic 8 rotation zone coming in there. Finally, on silver, we have already exceeded our full measured move ABC pattern, which took us to 1834. Next key level higher is the 1860, which is the end of this clear path move. And then above that, we're looking at a retest of these possible highs, which is 1899 or the 19 level. If we do pull back, watch for support around 1816 to 1809, which is also comes in with the rising 8 EMA. And if we pull back, we also have support from this declining trend line, which was broken. That's all I have for you on this quick metals update. Back to you, Bob.
Thanks, Mike. Just quickly, as Mike was talking, I saw some news come across the wire where the RBC, that's the Royal Bank of Canada, sees clear signs of the reflation trade unwind. So if you see that news, what that essentially means is that people who were looking for the market to reflate, in other words, the market to show really strong inflation data, which if you listen to our FX Path chat, you hear me talk about inflation across the world, that people who are putting on trades looking for that are starting to take those trades off. Now, having said that, gold will be affected by inflation. It is considered an inflation hedge. It is not. It is proven not to be a very good long-term inflation hedge, but speculators will trade gold off of inflation. So keep that in mind. We're going to record a new Money Path podcast in a little bit. It'll be up on Saturday afternoon. Look for that at pathtradingpartners.com or type in the Money Path podcast in your iTunes search bar and you'll find it. We would love it if you would subscribe to these videos. That would help us continue to do them. After you hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon that pops up so that you're sure YouTube will send you an alert when we have a new video out. These things are time sensitive. Also, leave us a comment if you'd like. We're going to try and respond to every comment that we can. Couple more things. Follow us on Twitter at path_trading. Like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is pathtradingpartners.com. And again, send us an email at support@pathtradingpartners.com if you'd like to ask us anything. Cheers, everyone. Have a great day and have a great weekend. Look for our weekend FX update, which will be coming sometime on Sunday. Cheers.